There you go, young man. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, guys, good morning. All right, so today's safety meeting is on respirators. So respirators are pretty handy to have on the job site. You don't want to inhale sawdust, mold spores, lead, dust, airborne chemicals, toxins, or even off-gassing fumes from a material that's, drying or curing. There's a lot of solvents and things like that, glues that we use, things like that. We want to protect ourselves. So when you use your respirator properly and keep it clean, it can protect you from getting sick and could even save your life. So today we're going to focus on how to keep your respirator clean. So always follow the manufacturer's instructions, obviously, for cleaning your specific respirator, but you should be able to find those instructions in the original packaging or on a website from the manufacturer. OSHA's guidelines on how to properly clean and disinfect your respirator. Remove the filters, cartridges, or canisters. Take the face pieces apart. Remove the speaking diaphragms, demand and pressure demand valve assemblies, hoses, and any other components recommended by the manufacturer. Discard and replace any recommended defective or anything that's defective, and then wash all components with warm water and a mild detergent or cleaner recommended by the manufacturer. You can use a stiff bristle brush to help remove dirt, but don't use a wire brush. You can disinfect it with cleaning solution. That says if your cleaning solution doesn't also disinfect, then you can immerse the components for 2 minutes in a solution of warm water with a milliliter of laundry bleach per 1 liter of water, or 0.8 milliliters of, I've never heard of this stuff before, Tinture of iodine per 1 liter of water. Or you can use a disinfectant recommended by the manufacturer. After cleaning and disinfecting, make sure you rinse the components thoroughly in clean, warm running water. And then, since there are some leftover cleaners and disinfectants can harm your skin or corrode parts of the respirator, it's really important to rinse the parts really well. Then either hand dry the components with a clean, lint-free cloth or let them air dry. When everything is completely dry, put the respirator back together, replace the filters, cartridges, or canisters as necessary, and make sure you test the respirator to ensure that everything is working properly. Additionally, make sure you wash your hands before cleaning your respirator. Don't use harsh chemicals to clean the respirator. Remember that shared respirators must be cleaned, disinfected, and fit tested before being worn by a different user. Store your respirator properly, protect it from damage, contamination, dust, sunlight, extreme temperatures, or excessive moisture. Don't leave it hanging on a piece of equipment, lying on your workbench, or toss in a toolbox. Change respirator filters at least as often as the manufacturer recommends. So if you damage your respirator while cleaning it, make sure that you replace it, because we don't want you getting your lungs infected or get sick over it. Do you guys all have your own respirators? Yeah.
I do.
Okay, good. Right, you do too?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so respirators, for a lot of stuff that we do, guys, they're important. They're kind of a pain when you're up in an attic and it's hot, or you're under a crawl space and it's hot and dusty, but it protects you. So just like goggles protect your eyes, you only have one set of lungs you don't want to have. The funny thing is, I remember way back when I was in my own had my own company, and we didn't hardly ever wear them. I don't think anybody hardly ever wore them unless they really got into something major. But that now you hear all this stuff even from years prior to me. I'm hearing stuff like from 20, 30 years ago, people getting sick, cancer and stuff like that from asbestos that they didn't even know had problems until But if people would have just wore the respirators, they wouldn't have that problem back in the day. So who knows what's out there now that can get us sick? So let's you should utilize as much as you can when it comes to protection. All right. So I'm gonna ask a couple of questions. It's weird how my computer just does this kind of crap randomly. Okay. So first one. What should you do next if your respirator's original packaging doesn't contain the manufacturer's instructions?
Get a new one?
A, don't clean the respirator. B, clean it by rinsing it in some cold water and let it dry on your workbench. C, clean it by dipping it into bleach a few hours. Or D, look for the instructions on the manufacturer's website.
The last one.
Yeah, pretty easy, right? Okay, what should you never do when cleaning your respirator? A, use a wire brush to remove dirt. B, remove filters, cartridges, or canisters. C, take face pieces apart. D, discard and replace defective parts. A, never use a wire brush. True or false? Once all the parts are rinsed thoroughly, you should put the respirator back together and then let it dry.
True.
False.
Oh, told you.
It says when everything is completely dry, put the respirator back.
Oh.
Okay, you gotta make sure it's dry before you put it back together.
Oh.
And why do you think that is?
Because
You
mold
get
and
bacteria.
moisture.
There you go. Bacteria, mold, moistures, all of that. Moisture is one of the things that help those things grow. So that's why you wanna make sure it's dry before you put it back together. Okay. What is the last step involved in cleaning a respirator? A, drying. B, disinfecting. C, cleaning. Or D, testing the respirator to ensure all components work properly.
We're probably testing it, or
There you
trying
go.
it. Either one.
Yeah, D, testing it. True or false? Shared respirators must be cleaned, disinfected, and fit tested before they are worn by a different user.
True.
Absolutely true. So that's it. That was
I
a
had
test.
specific jobs where I had to go to a medical office and they had to test me for a respirator before.
Well, no way.
Okay, so
Yeah, it was like in a warehouse.
You have to be clean shaven also.
Yeah, I couldn't wear any. I
Yeah,
couldn't wear any
you're supposed to
piercings.
have your no mustache, no nothing.
Yeah, I couldn't have that back then.
all right, so I know that there's a big repipe today, so you kind of already was told that this morning when you walked in because I was told on the weekend. So I'm not sure it's a 3-day. I think it's a 3-day deal, so it's been pretty busy. And I think that's really about it. I don't have a whole lot really to tell you guys today other than that. So I can go over your payroll with you right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, make sure your timesheets are turned in today.
Yes, please. It is payroll.